everything, then tell me how I can put an end to this.
Not yet. Why not enjoy yourself a bit longer?
Enjoy? I feel like I'm going crazy. Does this place get to you at all?
Oh, it gets to me, all right. I find it most fascinating. Wait! I'm not finished talking!
I knew you were on her side.
How do you figure?
There's something wrong with you, too.
So that was Vincent. Very, very interesting character, and does have some of the best lines in the game. And is very Weasley as a character. His name actually comes from an actor named Vincent Gallo, who did a lot of movies like Buffalo '66, things like that. You guys can look him up. He has a very, very vague resemblance to him, but his character, the way he acts, does not reflect him whatsoever. Take it easy, Xander. This crap. I have not played Deadly Premonition. Gotta be Goro to do all those things, kind of sprites. And I do believe we are going to run into another enemy. Technically, he's a boss character, but he actually doesn't do anything to you. This right here is actually called the Glutton. And you can walk right up to him. Your radio will go a little wacky, but he literally is there just to block your path. He does not try to attack you in any way, shape, or form. And so there's actually a fancy little, word that you need to, or I don't even know, a phrase you need to say, and then he disappears. So... And now we are, I guess, technically in the nightmare version of the construction site, this apartment building. The reason I'm turning my light off right now is to try to get the insane cancer not to see me. So, hopefully I'll just sit right there. No need to worry. Remember, turning off your light's a good thing. Granted, you can't see half the damn time, but, not a big deal. Let's see if we can go to the emergency staircase. Yes, I forget what the phrase is. It's like tu fui ego eris or something, and he'll disappear. And the story that you actually find that in, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's actually from a fairy tale of some sort. But I wouldn't quote me on that. If anybody knows, I would appreciate you telling us all. I just came. And for anybody new, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it, and the follows are very welcome. So thankfully this game does eliminate some of these floors right here, so I don't need to literally go through 6 floors of stuff. Alrighty. And like I said, what's one of the new things about this game is that there's a pit. Yeah, here we go. I get a little worried sometimes when I get a little too close. I've never fallen off, so I honestly don't know if you can fall off, but she does actually react to it now instead of like Harry and James, where it doesn't even seem to bother them that there's a giant pit in front of them. And this area right here we will actually come out of in a little bit. There's actually another section we need to go to. So, like I said, a lot of these floors you really don't need to worry too much about what's in them. You know, but unlike Silent Hill 2, and I think that's probably one of the weak points of this game, is, you know, there's not a lot of symbolism. I mean, it's like everything you did in Silent Hill 2 was very, you know, just kind of comes around in a complete circle. I mean, and I guess it's kind of funny that I mentioned that because, you know, for anybody new that just kind of hopped into the stream, circles and things like that have a lot to do with this game. You know, things kind of coming, and I hate saying things like this, but it does kind of come full circle. Matches in here that we need. You'll notice that somebody's been smoking, I guess, a cigarette or something down in here. Sorry. How's everybody doing? I better not. No, I'm not playing Homecoming. I will at a later date, but I will play it just because I'm going through the series as a whole. I don't like Homecoming, if that makes you feel any better. Passed it very briefly, but if you guys noticed, there was kind of like a sheet of glass, but if you actually click on it and you try to observe the glass, she actually says that no matter what she does, she can't break it. But in that, beyond that glass, there was actually a wheelchair sitting in kind of a reddish light. And if you guys look at the cover for the movie, crap, what was that movie called? I mentioned it earlier, Session 9. If you guys look at the cover for Session 9, that's actually where that's taken from. So, like I said, this movie was heavily influenced by that movie. And later on in the Haunted Mansion, there's actually a little scene towards the end of it that actually is straight from that movie. And I'm sorry, I didn't even explain it, but you find a pack of like liver, like pork liver, and you know, the matches, and then I guess it's like hydrogen peroxide or something. And you actually need to do that to actually set that painting on fire and come into this new room. Now, this is actually the story that you will get the first. It's kind of like the middle portion of the story where you learn that phrase from. these enemies, hey Velen, what's going on? Those enemies, the Slurpers, that's one of the reasons why I don't like those enemies, is because they're one of their main forms of attack is to literally bump into you and knock you to the ground. Not really much of they're not too dangerous, it's just really fucking annoying. So, you can actually lay down some beef jerky, run around, and just being lazy. So... silver coin right here. Looks very valuable and rare, so let's use it in a vending machine. Life insurance key. And I guess you could say that that is actually a commentary, you know, I guess life insurance itself. You know, you need a key, or you need to pay for the key to the life insurance area. You know, say what you will about it, it is interesting. And I refuse to believe that they don't do things like that on purpose. Honestly, I don't remember where this key unlocks. I mean, obviously it unlocks the life insurance area, but I need to go find it. If I'm not mistaken, if I had to venture a guess, I would say it's on the 3rd floor. Here's hoping I can even click the 3rd floor. Nope. Let's try 2nd floor. Flip to the map. Life insurance. 1st floor. Okay. Instead of going to the floor one by one, use the tools I'm given. As far as, like, I guess you could argue that, a lot of the Silent Hill games share a lot of things with Jacob's Ladder. That's a great movie, by the way. Here we go. You know, that's one of the first movies I ever saw. It may be the first movie that ever did the look at the dude with his head and he twitches really quickly. You know, crazy shit like that. So, pretty interesting stuff. Yeah, that kind of stuff used to freak me out pretty good too. Way back in the day. But as it stands now, right now, I mean, the only thing that's going on is we're trying to... Here we go. We're just trying to get out of here. So now that we... Here we go. She should say it here in a second. There it is, right there. So, now we can get out of here.
Tu fui ego eris. Weird writing. What was that?
So that will remove the glutton, which is what that big monster was, from that other floor. Now, let me see. Oops. And looks like we can just go right to him. And if you look kind of like what the glutton may be, you got to remember that Claudia seems to have some form of control over the monsters and the world itself. You'll notice how Heather says, did she do this? So I've read some things that say that the glutton is supposed to be a representation of how Claudia views Heather's father, Harry. So take that as you will. So now that we've defeated Glutton, who actually requires no combat whatsoever, we're on the main street now, which is not Silent Hill, which is really odd. And now we're about to head on home. And please keep spoilers down to a minimum for everybody that hasn't played this game, because we're about to hit one of the for me, and I know Bonus was pretty shocked too. One of the biggest things that happens in this game. And if I'm not mistaken, somewhere in here you're supposed to be able to check a mailbox, and inside the mailbox she'll say, "Oh, it's a letter from a dead wife," which is, obviously a reference to, I think it's right here. I guess not. Maybe it's another one somewhere else. Here we go.
Dad, I'm home. Listen, something really crazy's going on. I think we should... Dad? Dad?
No! Did you do this?
You're late.
But why? Why?
Revenge for 17 years ago, for one thing. If not for him, our dream would have come true. And then he took you away from us.
I'll get you for this!
There is another reason. To fill your heart with hatred. It must be this way. One day you'll understand why.
No, I'll never understand!
You must try to remember me, and your true self as well. You will birth a god, and build an eternal paradise. He's the one who killed your father. I merely gave the order. So, what will you do? I'll be waiting where all begins. In the town of Silent Hill.
This boss here is actually is very quick. And he can actually block your attacks. And you do need to kind of strafe a little bit to get around him, so taking off your Bulletproof Vest is a good idea. And as you guys may have noticed, our favorite main character from Silent Hill 1 is dead. He's been killed. Should do that. She actually handles a shotgun fairly well. Let's see if we get out. Block. So here you guys go.
I don't know what to say.
Then don't say anything.
I'm fine, so just get out of here and leave me alone already!
Calm down. I just...
Calm down? How am I supposed to do that? My father is dead! He's murdered! Get out! This is all your fault! If it weren't for you,
I'm sorry.
then go!
If it'll make you feel better, I will. Is he okay like this?
What else can I do? There's no one here to give him a decent burial. I'm sorry, Dad.
What do you do now?
I'm going to Silent Hill.
What's in Silent Hill?
I don't know.
Do you think it's safe?
Of course it isn't. I don't know what kind of hell is waiting for me there, but I've got no other choice. I don't care about God or paradise. If that's what she believes, then fine. But she won't get away with what she did. When I find her, I'll kill her myself.
Revenge doesn't solve anything.
Maybe not, but that's what I'm going to do.
How are you gonna get there?
None of your business.
I'll give you a ride.
I don't need your help.
Yeah, but it's too far to walk. Besides, I'm partly responsible for this. I'll bring the car around back. Come by and we'll finish saying goodbye.
You know, you might die too.
That's fine. Nobody's gonna cry over my grave.
So yeah, unfortunately, they decided to kill off Harry. Now, if you actually have the PC version of this game, you can actually you can do a camera hack, and you can actually see Harry's face. And they actually did animate his face, or not animate it, but they actually did draw out his face, and he does look like he does in 1, just more aged. So it's pretty interesting. So. Just pretty freaky stuff. I remember the first time I saw this, I really didn't think that they were going to do something like that. I was actually looking forward to seeing him. And you can actually forget to grab the stun gun. And I remember one of the first times I beat this game, I ran out of ammo and I had no health, and the last thing I had was my stun gun. And I ran up to the boss and then used the stun gun and managed to kill the boss with it, which actually does count as a melee kill. And I do have my Silent Hill 2 save data on here, but you should find there's a letter from a dead wife in there or something to that effect. So I'm gonna go ahead and save it right now. Yeah, it was completely on accident, and I mean, it was really like the last thing I could do, because it was like, if I get hit one more time, I'm gonna die, and it was like the only weapon I hadn't used, and then I used it, and it just so happened to kill the boss. So, pretty funny stuff.
I just met some guy named Vincent.
Vincent?
He's a friend of yours, right?
I'm not sure.
He said when we get to Silent Hill to look for a guy named Leonard. And he gave me this map. What do you want to do?
We can't trust him, but we've got no other choice.
Here, take this too.
What's this?
Your father was holding it. Started raining. Are you sleeping?
I'm awake.
You cold? What's the deal with Silent Hill anyway? It used to be a nice, quiet little town. But now...
You've been there?
Once. On a missing persons case. Never did find him. But I'll tell you, that's one screwed up town. My line of work, you hear a lot of nasty rumors.
I was born and raised there.
Sorry. I didn't mean to offend you.
No offense taken.
Anyway, I thought you grew up in Portland. What's wrong? Feeling sick?
My head's pounding like the worst hangover ever.
Maybe you're car sick.
No. I'm just trying to remember. My childhood. Something terrible happened in Silent Hill 17 years ago. A woman named Dahlia. She tried to summon the ancient god of the town. She offered up her very own daughter.
That's crazy.
Maybe so, but it worked. The girl gave birth to a god. You see, that girl had special powers.
Powers?
Her classmates called her a witch. She could make things happen with her mind. She could kill people just by wishing for it. But in the end, that god was killed by a single person. My father, Harry Mason. I guess it wasn't much of a god if it could be killed by a human being. But I think Claudia's trying to do the same thing again. And I've been chosen as the sacrifice.
You've got some kind of power in you two?
After the god was killed, the girl reappeared. She was holding a baby in her arms. Before she died, she gave the baby to my father. He loved me just like I was his very own daughter. Even though he didn't know who or what I was. It was so sudden. I never had a chance to tell you how happy you made me.
It is a long scene. And if I'm not mistaken, it's not over yet. Yeah, the letter that you can read is actually pretty nice.
I'm gonna head for that Leonard guy's house. You check out the hospital. You got the map, right?
Yeah,
Gonna be okay alone?
I'm not a child, you know. Are you sure it's not you who's afraid to be alone?
You're right. I am afraid. I'm 50-something years old. I never seen nothing like this. I still feel like I'm dreaming.
More like a nightmare, I'd say.
Yeah. I want to wake up and have a smoke already. Meet me back here when you're finished looking around the hospital. Okay?
Roger.
So pretty much in that cutscene, I mean, obviously the really super sad music that they were playing. If you read the lyrics for it, it pretty much is also telling, it's kind of expressing her loss, and it's pretty much the way it sounds. And they pretty much just kind of tell you what the canon endings are for one. The one thing that is interesting is that in this game there really is no reference to Sybil at all. And if I'm not mistaken, the director has said that it's up to the viewers whether or not she makes it out of Silent Hill 1. And let me actually find that letter. And I know you guys, I'm sure you guys can read it yourselves, but I hope this will never come to any use. Maybe it's better if you never know. More than anything else, I fear the possibility of your going away, far from me. But sometimes we have to tell the truth. That's why I'm writing this before I'm lost in death and oblivion. What happened back then, that has something to do with who you are. It all started 24 years ago. Coming back from my vacation, my wife and I found a baby on the side of the highway. Since we were childish, we thank God for letting us meet this child. This girl, we took her home. Yeah, 3 years later, my wife died, and another 4 years later. 17 years ago, I came to Silent Hill. I heard the girl's pleas and took her with me, not knowing why she wanted us to go there. So pretty much he's talking about the beginning of Silent Hill, where they're driving. And it was there that the girl went away. Not that she actually went away, nor did she die. Returned to her original self. That's what Dahlia Gillespie said. Original self, that was the young woman burned by her mother as a sacrifice to God. I love how they reference to God, and in this game they play at what exactly is a God. Half her soul escaped into those flames and went on to live in a baby, in that girl of mine, of ours. 7 years passed before that half a girl returned to Silent Hill and made Alessa whole again. Newly strengthened, she vowed to kill God. God, a fetus nestled inside into this sacrificial girl's womb, was summoned with the usual rites. That's what Alessa's wish, no matter what the outcome, even if her own existence were at stake. But that wish was not granted. My interruption meant she prayed for the girl's return. I alone couldn't bring her back. Dahlia did it. I only helped at the birthing ceremony to bring God out of Alessa. Sorry, my TV's across the room, so it's hard for me to read this. The newly born God wailed once and was dead. All from the girls and probably Alessa's conscious resistance. That's not the end. After God had vanished in a glow of light, Alessa reappeared and gave me a baby. So this is probably just the good ending, not good plus, from Silent Hill 1. She looked a lot like that girl so long ago. And Alessa was gone, dead. There was nothing I could do to help. I simply clutched the baby in my chest and ran off. So, yeah, I'm not going to sit here and read this whole thing. So pretty much he talks about right here that he wasn't sure. That there were times where I put my hands around her tiny little throat. So he was thinking about killing Heather while she was a baby. Talks about abandoning her. But then eventually he goes on to talk about how he raises her and then he comes to love her. So blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so sorry I didn't read it all like that. I got to get on. This game's pretty long. So it's, it's pretty touching, but I guess it's kind of hard to hear from, someone who technically isn't your dad say that they were going to strangle you to death when you were young. And now we are in Silent Hill, and if you guys remember, this is actually the second half of the map that James has in Silent Hill 2. So you'll notice that Rosewater Park, where you meet Maria, there's the lake, the Silent Hill Historical Society, but we're actually going to the hospital. Yeah, in Silent Hill there is the bad ending, bad plus, and there's good plus, and then there is the UFO ending. And actually, one of the coolest endings you can get in that game is actually the worst ending. The worst ending, which actually has Harry. The camera kind of pans out after everything's done, and you see Harry inside of. Sorry, I wanted to see what that was. Just a dog. You see Harry dying inside of his Jeep. So after the Jeep crashed, everything he was seeing was just in his head. So there's actually Pete's Bolorama, where we don't actually meet Eddie, but we do see him and Laura from Silent Hill 2. This section of the map is exclusively from Silent Hill 2. And if you're wondering, I actually used to think that the map in Silent Hill 1, like they redid it. And actually Let's see where I need to go. I think I can take the street. And actually, everything that takes place in Silent Hill 1 actually takes place north of the lake. So this is actually, I believe they call this new Silent Hill. Yep, that is where we see Eddie eating pizza. I'm actually trying to find a way into... Oh, I'm actually running down it right now. You can actually not... you can't get to Rosewater Park. It's all blocked off. I tried when I was playing earlier today. And you can't get inside Pete's Bowl-O-Rama, but one of the places you can get inside of is actually the Heaven's Night bar. And if I'm not mistaken, there's some items in here that you can pick up. And one of the cool things that you can kind of see is there's actually a flyer right here. This is a flyer from the club. It shows a woman with long black hair. This is the return of Lady Maria, from Silent Hill. Silent Hill 2. And if you go back and you look at Maria's model in Silent Hill 2, she actually has her hair is actually black, and you can tell she's dyed it blonde by the roots in her hair. So yeah, so just some fun stuff. There's nothing you can do in here. You can't go out the back of the other door. No, I'm not going to wear the perfume. No, what the perfume is there's an item that you can find that you can actually wear that will attract monsters to you. And you might be asking, why the hell do you want to do that now? If you want to get a 10-star ending, you need to kill a shit ton of monsters. So that is why you would wear it. So. And the reason I don't have a weapon right now, and the reason I don't have my jacket or the bulletproof vest on right now, is so that I can run faster. She's kind of doing a slow jog right now. She actually has a lot more stamina than any other character in the Silent Hill games, with the exception of Harry, because Harry never actually slowed down. There was no stamina in that game. And like I said, find your map first. And you'll notice that the map is set up exactly like it was in Silent Hill 2. So this shouldn't be too unfamiliar for me, although getting used to areas being locked when I don't think they should be will be definitely different. Using the katana in here is actually not a bad idea, because obviously we're going to run into the nurses. Which they're definitely interesting in this game, because they can actually carry guns, which is actually a first. So. Carrying a pipe. Exactly the hottest things. Like I said, one of the new things they added in this game is you can actually block. You can't hold it. She only blocks for a second. But it is handy when you're fighting. There's a specific boss later that really does come in handy. This room right here is C2. Yeah, C2. Don't go into that room. That room is just full of 3 nurses, and you beat them up, and there's actually nothing in there. So. And one of the interesting things that you can actually find in here, okay, yeah, this is there's actually a key stuck on here, but you can't pull it off, even though I can't even apparently use the katana to just pry it, but whatever. there's actually some notes that you can find around here with a doll kind of attached to them, and I'm actually not going to read them, but I forget who they're from exactly. Maybe somebody in the stream knows. And he actually starts kind of talking about Heather, and he talks about how he's in love with her and he's watching her, and she gets really creeped out by it. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened to me. I walked into that room. And blocking does not actually stop the damage. I think you guys can hear me. But blocking will actually, if you have a successful block, it'll actually reduce damage to only 5%. Katana's a pretty decent weapon in this game. And this is actually the first diary you can find. And if you read this one, they'll pop up all over the place. But in all honesty, you really don't. You don't need to read it. Again, if you don't step on them, sometimes their bodies just kind of sit there. A little irritating. If I'm not mistaken, Damonation, you actually like the nurses in this one, don't you? Alright, so let's just keep checking things out. And as far as I understand, there's actually a couple of Lisa Garland from Silent Hill 1 references in this game. So let's go around and collect some stuff. I believe there's some health drinks in here. I always hate when the camera angle changes like that. It always makes me think that there's something in there I can get. Oh yeah, so yeah, Stanley Coleman, that's the guy who is writing notes to you. And since I'm not reading them, I may just go ahead and tell you guys, but eventually, after you're done reading all the notes, you kind of figure out that the guy's already dead, so somehow a ghost is writing you letters. Kind of spooky stuff. So... And I do believe you can actually use the elevator. That's what I always forget because I'm so used to playing 2. Yeah. Okay, go to the basement. We're on the first floor. Let's go to the second floor then. I'm not reading the letters, Damon. That's why I'm just saying. It's not anything that's for the plot of the game. It's just a little extra thing. If you guys want to go ahead and play it and read the letters, go for it. But I'm not going to do it. It just kind of wastes time. There's no special items you can get from it. It's just one of those things like, look, we're mind fucking you again, which is always fun. Since I started a new game, there is only... here's the perfume. There's the perfume right there. If you equip that, the monsters will be attracted to you. The first time you play the game, the only ending you can get is the good ending. After you beat it, then the game actually will take... damn shitty camera angles. We'll actually start tallying certain things like... what am I trying to say? It tallies up points for some of your decisions. So... Okay. The way this goofy puzzle is actually... it says, like, one is half of the first or something like that. Come on. I can't even hear if I'm pressing it. Actually, let me exit out. I can't hear if I'm pressing it, so... It's actually 8634. just have to turn on my damn TV because I can't hear. Thank you. God. It's amazing what I can't do if I can't hear. I actually try to play fighting games with the sound off. I actually can't do it. I realize how much I use audio cues to hear things. Yeah, and like I said, since I'm playing this on, this is one. If I'm not mistaken, this is one of those camera angles. No, wrong room. You know, when you put this game on hard mode for, oh yeah, the start time. You do need to know a lot of things. So, I've said it before. You guys have been in the stream for a while. I've already heard it, but you do need to know Shakespeare in order to get past the very first puzzle in the game. So, if I'm not mistaken, this one right here actually has a gun. Yeah. Shot in my face. And you guys can hear this weird breathing that they do. Go down very easy. So, yeah. Not very fun. You guys notice I actually did better. The only reason I switched to the gun is I get worried when the enemies have guns of their own. So, yeah. Actually another puzzle, and remember that corpse actually said the start time is my key. So we are looking at, what is that, 3:44. And the way this puzzle works is you actually don't need to look at the seconds. So this should be 03:44. 43, excuse me. I can't tell time, apparently. And what makes this puzzle in particular, I remember this puzzle on hard mode, what happens is when you look at the clock, you actually need to get the time, and then you need to convert it to military time. Not too difficult, you know, but it's just something that's interesting. There's actually a health pack in that room, but I don't think it's worth it. I'll lose more health trying to get that pack than anything else. Okay. And we can actually go get that key off the wall there because we now have a nail polish remover. And I hate this, like the camera. I love when they do that like tants. With a gun here. It's really not worth it just kind of stand there and get shot. Again, it's really hard for me to hear because I have my TV turned down, so I just realized I was getting shot at. And I do believe it was on the first floor. And there it is. Got to go to room C4. The nurses are actually using pipes and handguns. So the nurses in this one are actually fairly dangerous. So here we go. Go ahead and use a nail polish remover on whatever the hell this crap is on the wall. There we go. Now we can hit the stairwells. So, a long time ago, I think when I was playing the first Silent Hill for you guys, I actually mentioned that wheelchairs were a big part of the game. And this is one of those times. And I love the camera angle. So, yeah, that's just a nice little thing to kind of fuck with you right there. And this is actually where you get one of the best weapons in the game, which is the submachine gun. Good weapon. Not too much ammo for it, as I recall. But wheelchairs have actually shown up in, I believe, every Silent Hill. Then again, it's hard for me to remember some of the other games, so I really don't like the ones after this one. So you actually need to use the camera because you can't fit behind here. And a lot of these codes do change, so 4739. So yeah, really, I really do enjoy their use of camera angles and things. So, and you can't actually go into the elevator at all. But yeah, pretty interesting stuff. But yeah, the wheelchair, I'm actually not too sure what the wheelchair actually symbolizes in these games. Although I'm sure it has something to do with Alessa, being, bound, into the hospital, or stuck in the hospital, I should say. After being burned by her own mother. If anybody else knows, you are more than welcome to let us all know. And there actually is no hunting rifle in this game, if I'm not mistaken. And another interesting thing about the submachine gun is that only female characters in the history of Silent Hill have ever actually had the submachine gun. One being obviously Heather, and the other being Eileen in The Room. One of her, I think it's a secret weapon you can actually get for her. She can actually have the submachine gun. So pretty interesting stuff. Okay, now he knows that there was a nurse locked in that room. It's a funny little note right here. Punishment for brutality towards patient. 12 hours confinement in the special treatment room. It says dismissal policy no longer in effect. Contact the chief if you have any questions. And I love there's something handwritten down here. It says the trick is not to leave any marks. And another one says the chief is a pervert. Yeah, it's just some fucked up shit that's going on in this hospital. Which, if you guys remember, Silent Hill, obviously Silent Hill is just a fucked up town, but the hospital in of itself, in the first Silent Hill, the lead doctor, Kaufman, was actually prescribing drugs, or selling, I should say, illegal narcotics, specifically the, whatever drug was created out of the White Claudia plant. So, interesting stuff for sure. And this room right here is actually where you can find the trick-or-treat box in Silent Hill 2. And that funny little minigame that happens while you're in the elevator. see here. And I'm trying to think. Oops. Like a trail elevator, you have to actually press the button to get it to open. Now, I just noticed, what did I say? Now, is that really what happened? Interesting. I did not know that. And, oops, you actually need to use that code I found in the Polaroid. If that's what happened, I actually did not know that. That is my own ignorance. $43.47.39. Sorry, I'm like trying to look at the chat and here we go. And I've actually never played Silent Hill Origins, so. I will stream Homecoming, probably at a later date, though. It won't be anytime soon. Just because, for some reason, my PC doesn't like to stream my PS3 games. It lags pretty bad. The frame rate drops, and so I'm just trying to get either a new PC or optimize everything. Also, my net connection isn't the greatest, so. I have played Homecoming and these bitches up here.
Hello?
Claudia.
No, I'm not.
Don't lie to me, Claudia. You're always trying to run from your responsibilities. Have you come to apologize? Or maybe you still don't realize how foolish you've been. The salvation of all mankind. What a ridiculous dream.
Wait, just listen to me for a second.
I've heard enough from you already. How did you turn out this way? Where did I go wrong?
Listen to me already. I'm not Claudia.
You're not Claudia.
My name is Heather.
Heather.
Who are you?
Leonard Wolf. I'm sorry. I thought you were my daughter.
Claudia is your daughter?
Oh, so you know her, do you? Are you one of her followers?
No, never. When I find her, I can
feel the hatred.
What?
Behind your words, the anger. You plan to kill her, don't you?
I'm sorry, but she killed my father.
She's a fool, but she's still my daughter. I was going to forgive her if she changed her ways, but I see it's too late. Heather, will you help me?
Help you?
I'm locked up in here, and I must stop Claudia.
Where are you now?
I'm not sure myself, but the door is at the end of the hall on the second floor. I think I can be of help to you. I have a seal. Please.
A seal? The end of the hall on the second floor.
Yep, so now we were introduced to another character here. Leonard Wolf. He's trying not to get shot. And Leonard is not a very nice guy. He's a little crazy. It's exactly what I think of every time I hear him say, "I can feel your anger." And your journey towards the dark side will be complete. And again, the random phones ringing that don't appear to be connected to anything. There's a lot of parallels between this game and the first game, like I said before. So, interesting stuff. And now that we've gotten that phone call, we can actually access the store right here. So this is a pretty interesting little thing here. But if you guys remember, Harry gets a phone call from Cheryl, on like a toy phone. So, there's a lot of really goofy things that you can use to connect, kind of just complete the circle. Like, obviously Heather's with an H, so does Harry's, Whoop-de-doo, Dahlia, Claudia, both end in IA. But that's really stretching it as far as like comparison stuff is concerned. Is the audio bothering you guys that much? There, hopefully you guys can hear me a little bit better. If that's too low, just let me know. I want to make sure that you guys can hear me, because I do know some of the things are pretty loud in this game. And this is sort of like a little maze, but it's not too bad. You just got to make sure if you see a gate, run up to it. Otherwise, you don't know if it'll open or not. Thinks it's just being funny. Yeah. Oops, running into the wall. Gotta quit reading the stream. actually a different CO right here. If you guys remember this, if I'm not mistaken, this CO is actually in.
Still has an unusually high fever. Eyes don't open. Getting a pulse, but just barely breathing. Why? What is keeping that child alive?
Yeah, like I was trying to say, I don't like trying to talk during the scenes. That CO was in the first game quite a bit, and if you guys noticed, that was Lisa, on that tape that you can actually get in the first game. So, again, another parallel. Harry sees the tape, she does, obviously in her head, and we're about to be introduced to another little character here coming up in a second. Well, maybe not just yet. And here is our lovely, again, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but Valentio. And you'll notice that he's not even attacking me, he's just turning a crank in a circle. There's a nurse bound up right there. I've heard that Lisa is somewhere around here, although she doesn't look the same. Maybe somebody knows about that, so... And now we're in the nightmare version of this place, which is really weird. You notice that the music's kicked up a bit, so hopefully we turning it down let you guys hear. Yeah, he does turn that crank like a pro. Again, if you guys are having trouble hearing, please let me know so I can turn it down a little bit more. Here we go. I always love little creepy camera angles like this. But it's literally a corpse hanging upside down. It's kind of a bloodletting. Just let the blood pour into there. Now you do need to come back here in a little bit. But we need another item. So again, there's just a lot of really crazy shit in here. The visuals for these games are exquisite. And again, anybody that's new to the stream, I would appreciate the follows. I do my best to try to improve myself on these games, although occasionally I seem to get some things incorrect. Just like that poor guy who had to sign up just to correct me, I apologize. Let's say, I think I'm about to get knocked out. I appreciate you guys watching. And I do appreciate the discussion, so... Usually when I laugh, it's because I'm reading some of your comments. You guys have some really great comments. But I hope you guys are enjoying the stream. So, I went through a lot of the Resident Evils already. I'm doing Silent Hill now. So, and as far as what we're going to move to next, we do have Silent Hill 4, or excuse me, The Room. Then I do want to move back and do Resident Evil 4 and 5, things like that. So, now this puzzle's a little interesting. It's not too bad, but you'll see that this puzzle does change every time you play the game. So 1, 3, 4. Now there's actually a lock right there, and you'll notice that some of these. So what is that? 7. Crap! I already forgot which order. So I knew the first one's 7. Oops! Second number 7. So 5, 7, 9, 0. Whoops. Dang it. Didn't mean to move that one. There we go. Not too bad of a puzzle. And I honestly don't remember what that puzzle is on hard mode, but I do encourage everybody, if you guys have this game, if you guys want a good challenge, if you guys like puzzles, man, set this thing to hard mode. It's good stuff. I do enjoy it when I can skip a couple of these levels. Yeah, I actually had a good friend of mine actually make that for me. The background, that is. So I really do enjoy some of my favorite movies. I mean, obviously those are favorite movies for a lot of people. So unfortunately, I don't have Predator up there, and I don't have any Connor McLeod from Highlander. What's up with that? Just walking around in a circle. And just because I'm 18 years old, never right. I do need a banner, actually. I don't, I actually don't have, obviously I don't have one, so. And I actually need another item to do this little puzzle right here. Well, it's not much of a puzzle. Want me to go to the third floor storeroom when I have a chance? Okay. Happy to do that for unfortunately, Heather runs insanely slow because I do have Bulletproof Vest on right now, so. Yeah, it is very hard to see the doors in here. What's up with this nose? But you'll notice that it's really hard to hear the radio, because usually when the monsters show up, there's really weird sounds and ambient noise starts to kind of kick up. I really hate those noises. Stop being a chump. Just kill it. If I'm mistaken, there's actually nothing in this room. Again, I'm not a big fan, like, of rooms you can go into and nothing really happens, but is that what that is? Oh, well. And we did find an ampule, which is always nice. And I'm actually not sure. My mind is 1,000 different places right now. I'm just going to save it again. Yeah, I did save it in room C4. Yep, I am in the dimension where it locks. That's how it works, unfortunately. Shit. Let's see if this thing not to attack me. Good stuff. Okay. Yeah, if you can get a snack if you need it. I'm actually... I know what I'm looking for. I just don't honestly remember where to find it. I'm actually looking for a plastic bag. I know that sounds weird.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. Oh, I forgot your name.
Who are you?
Oh, okay, thanks. Happy birthday, dear. Who are you? Happy birthday to you. Happy 31st birthday.
Is this Leonard?
That's the murderer's name, not my name. I'm not your beloved Stanley either. He's underground now. His new name is Number 7. But don't worry about that now. It's time to celebrate your birthday.
You've got me mistaken for someone else. Today's not my...
I'm not mistaken. Today is your 24th birthday. And I have a present for you. Which do you prefer? To give pain or to receive it? You can have the one you hate the most. Happy birthday to you!
But you're wrong. It's not my birthday.
Some weird stuff. And I noticed he said, happy 31st birthday, and then happy 24th birthday, I believe. And if you... Now, somebody may understand this better than I do, and I may be wrong. That's not great at all. Jeez. Give me a break. There we go, that's what I'm looking for. Plastic bag. Now, I believe if you add Heather's age with, like, Cheryl's age, it comes out to be 24. And if you add, like... Cheryl's lessons way around. Eventually, if you add the ages together, you get 31, and that's where these two numbers come from. Somebody else who more than I knew about that. It's true. She is more upset it isn't her birthday. Okay, now I need to go to the 3rd floor. to collect this blood. Now, what may be difficult for a lot of people is trying to figure out what exactly you need to do. Because, I mean, like, honestly, how are you supposed to know that you need to do these things? I mean, that's a good question. And where do I need to go to? I need to go to the first floor. Which I believe I need to take the elevator. Of course, means running back through the slurpers, which is it scaring me? No, it doesn't scare me because I can't hear it after. Because I have to turn it down so you guys can't hear my, what am I trying to say? So you guys can't hear kind of the TV and then hear it again through the stream. So it doesn't echo. And I do believe I need to take the stairs. For some reason I can't quite seem to remember how to get back there. Would I run or fight? Well, that's a good question. Against these things, I first have to I can go. This is the point. Yeah, I would have shot Claudia in the back of the roof, too. Where's the damn, did you knock that off? Where's the damn, ladder. Okay. How fucking irritating is that? Okay, go in the door, please. So I sit here covering every little square inch. Oh, man. Alright, sorry for that. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell. Okay, so I need to go to the first floor. Again, not being able to actually fall off, that's just kind of superfluous at this point. Yeah, really. Just me kind of flailing about, trying to see if I can get over there. I wish those stairs would magically appear. Make my life easier. Yeah, I do need to buy that DLC. Yeah, you're right. I do probably have one of the keys to the rooms. I'm an idiot, not thinking. Maybe not. Oh, that's why. Only using beef jerky? There we go. Good grief, sorry about that. Going to save it because we're actually about to run into another boss fight. You got it.
Yeah? Leonard, where are you?
Thank you. Now I can finally leave here. Now Claudia's ridiculous dream is over. Well, I guess it's time to dispose of her. For the salvation of all mankind. Ha! Why must we reward even the unbelievers?
What are you talking about?
About our plans, of course. It's true that God is merciful, but first, one must be chosen. Only we, who hearken to the voice of God, will be given the keys to paradise. Don't you think so, Mother?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and think whatever you want.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that I don't think the way you guys do. I don't want any part of that kind of paradise.
You're an unbeliever. You deceived me.
I didn't deceive you. We were both just wrong about each other. I thought you were a normal person.
So you tried to trick me so you can run off with my seal, eh? Hell
heretic! You plan to destroy God!
I told you I wasn't trying to trick anyone. What is this seal thing anyway?
Don't play innocent. You can't fool me anymore. The seal is mine! I was appointed by God to be its guardian! The only thing you'll get from me is a gruesome death.
Leonard, is that you?
Death to all who turn their backs on God!
Is every person here a mental case? Well, I guess you're not a person anyway.
Alright, Leonard. Another boss fight. I guess he's kind of amphibious, and he looks a little fucking weird. Glasses. He actually swims really fast. If you can actually shoot him in the back, you can actually get him to kind of flail around on the ground, kind of club him with the wall. This is also another fight you may want to take off the vest. He does get up pretty slow, so he can hit you while he's in the water. He really doesn't do too much damage. This is actually more of a boss battle that makes you patience, makes you use patience, and you really shouldn't try to push against him. You should try to keep distance. Say the maul really isn't the quickest weapon in the game. I just didn't get to it fast enough. Quick. In the water, you move slow as shit, which you already don't move very fast with the vest on to begin with, so. As much as I wish you could, I wish you could kind of T-1000 it into those things back there, so I can keep shotgunning it. Down the L2 trigger to kind of keep the camera behind you, so you can't really be a bit of gas sometimes. Now, if you can knock him down from behind, he does stand up. Now, as to why Leonard looks the way he does, I honestly don't know. From what I've read, it seems as though as we've already found out, she does have some sort of powers similar to that of the lesson. Now, like I said, if you want to maneuver a little bit faster, just take your vest off. All you have to do is just keep a distance from it. You notice these boss battles do take a little while. This is not one of my favorite boss fights. It's actually... Daft, that's a pretty interesting comment. It is implied that, actually, I mean, they do straight up kind of tell you that Leonard was extremely abusive to Claudia, which does kind of give you some insight as to why her character is doing the things that she is.
Leonard's not here anymore. I guess I should head back to the motel now. I hope Douglas is okay. Huh? What's this?
So yeah, so that's the Leonard fight. A little time consuming. Not exactly one of my favorite fights, but you know, not doesn't mean it's bad or anything. It's just a little long for my tastes, and it really isn't too terribly difficult. So, and as usual, since you beat the boss, everything kind of goes back to normal. And you'll notice that we ended up in just a normal room, you know, nothing special, no secret passageway or anything like that, which is one of the things I've always liked about the series. Just because you never really seem to know where exactly you are. Like right now, here's the door.
Why did you send her to my father?
Was that wrong?
It's your fault that he...
Oh, but surely it's a good thing. It means he was one of God's beloved, no?
Those who mock God will never receive salvation. You'll go to hell, Vincent. You'll never feel the joy of God's everlasting paradise.
And you think God is going to save you? Ha!
What do you know anyway?
I know about the pleasures of this world. And I want to find my happiness while I'm still here. You hated your father, didn't you? I saw the way he hit you, kicked you, and made you cry. The memory of his cruelty is forever burned into my mind.
Yes, yes, and that's why we need God.
What you call faith is nothing more than a child crying out for love. That's why you're all alone.
You don't understand. None of you do.
So now we're starting to get some more Vincent. Seems to be at ends with Claudia here. Alright, now because we're out in the street. And I love how she runs. She runs so goofy, but And again, for you guys that just hopped in, I do have the alien ending saved. So after I'm done beating the game, I'll actually show you a lot of the secret stuff that you can actually get in this game. And the alien ending is probably one of the best, or one of the funniest things in the game. And I do have all the secret weapons and things like that, so some pretty funny stuff. And now we're doing some slow jogging right now, just trying to make our way back to the hotel. Let's see, I don't believe it. There we go. I mean, later on we learn a little bit more about Vincent and his motives. That was fine. It should be 106 then.
Where's Douglas?
He went out. But he left a message for you.
Was there someone else here just now?
No, just me. Don't you want to know what the message is?
Yeah, what did he say?
The church is on the other side of the lake.
Church? Wonder what he meant by that.
You don't understand? That's where Claudia is. Across the lake. On the north side. If you're going, you better go through the amusement park. It's probably the only way in now. Go northwest on Nathan Avenue. It's a bit far, but closer than heaven.
Is that it for the message?
Uh-huh.
Thanks. Douglas really said that?
What's wrong? You don't trust me?
Man. If you look at some of Vincent's models that they were gonna go with, he actually a few of them were him in more casual clothes, and the character didn't seem to work right. At least not in my eyes. You know, just wearing like a shirt. You know, it was just kind of like, well, wait a minute. And I do like the way he is. Just seems like such a slimy dude. And you actually don't need to run all the way, you know, across the lake or anything. The game eventually will just kind of port you there. These dogs don't give up, do they? They did a really good job with the a lot of the expressions of the characters and things. And for those of you that were here for the beginning of the game during the nightmare sequence, now we're actually here at the amusement park. It's one of the more famous places in Silent Hill.
Ow. Oh, hell.
No, this isn't my favorite one. My favorite one is 2, but this one is a very close second. So you guys will notice that this is almost exactly like the dream that we have earlier. So you'll notice that they do have Robbie the Rabbit here. So good stuff. And again, I do that. And Robbie does show up in Silent Hill, The Room. This building right here, I believe. Yeah, I think it is pretty much a given that everybody's favorite one is 2. That's not to say that the other ones are somehow less than that one, but this game is very, very good. Yeah, more jerky. And that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, this bunch of stuff kind of falls over right here. She makes note that this didn't happen in her dream, so it's not a bad idea to save it, because this area can be a little confusing. One of the reasons I actually didn't like The Room is because they do force you to fight enemies. If you try to run from some of the dogs and things like that, they actually will, their animations will speed up. And they'll catch up with you, which I actually don't think that makes for a good game, but whatever. They did what they did. Our favorite enemy, the Pendulum, is out in full force. Again, unless you have like a limited submachine gun, it's really not worth the time that you waste trying to. That's a good question. What if they stealth feats? So, if you guys remember in the dream, when she hops onto the roller coaster, it actually will hit you and kill you. So you actually turn off the roller coaster right here, so that you don't have to worry about that. Again, since there's no real danger for falling, I think adding that was a little weak. I mean, it is neat, but it just kind of gets in the way sometimes. Although, if you're running with any sort of precision, you don't have to worry too much about it, which I'm clearly not doing. Yeah, I was really excited for The Room's trailer.
I hired you to find the girl, and you performed serviceably. What is it now?
You lied to me about Heather, lady. I don't like being used.
Lie? What lie?
That Heather was kidnapped from you.
But it's true. She was originally one of us. That man, Harry Mason, stole her away and kept her hidden from us.
Yeah, but she says she was happy.
She was brainwashed by him, deceived, because her true self had not yet awoken. She carries God within her.
But when Alessa, Mother of God, truly awakens...
Yeah? What's gonna happen?
She will usher in the eternal paradise.
What kind of place is that?
A place with no pain, no hunger, no sickness, no old age. There will be no greed or war, and all will live by God's grace alone.
No this, no that, no nothing. A paradise? For castrated sheep, maybe. Sounds pretty boring.
I pity you. You still don't understand. You're going to kill me? Is it really so easy for you?
I've done it before.
Then I truly do pity you.
Yeah, I really didn't enjoy the first movie very much. Alright, so... let's move around a bit in here, shall we? Ah, here we go. We're coming to one of the best parts of the game for a lot of people. So, this is actually the Borley Haunted Mansion. You'll notice I actually have another save up above this one where I saved at this point, just because it's one of my favorite parts. So.
Welcome to the Borley Haunted Mansion. We're so glad you came. Please come inside and look around. When you feel you're ready, then go through the door. Help! Help! Do you hear those voices? A family of 4 was sliced